Love and light! We are divine couple, and we are here to assist humanity in creating harmonious relationships, families, and a solid society with the divine feminine and the divine masculine archetypes through channeling and personal experiences.
It's time to rise, people of the sun, because
Together we rise and synchronized we thrive. Rah! Ça, c'est bon.
On l'essaye. Love and light. First solo video with Alexander on my Divine Masculine Mindset page about finally nutrition, a topic that I wanted to touch since a while, but everything in divine timing as always. So the importance of having a good gut and also the use of meat in the spiritual community, which is a big taboo that we also addressed. So stay tuned for this video, more to come about nutrition. It's such an important topic. Very great live again with Alexander, good resonance with him. So more to come as always, so enjoy this video. Welcome everyone. Very, very special live today about a topic that I wanted to address since a long while, and I wasn't sure about how to do it, either with a live, not a live, but a YouTube video with the love beings, or I was not sure, but in divine timing as always, and it's with a live with Alexander, which just joined. So it's about something that is very taboo, and that I feel that a lot of love and light needs to be shined onto that topic, which is eating meat and spirituality. So yeah, let's do this. Alexander, just let's invite him here.
Hey, how are you?
What's going on, brother? Really good, thank you. How are you?
Amazing.
Awesome.
Happy to do this. We'll just fix that camera here.
Yeah.
So yes.
Maybe that light's better. There we go.
Perfect. So another meat eater.
Yeah.
in the spiritual community, this is rare.
Dude, it's so wild. We live in times where we have to say, oh, like, I'm a vegan, or like, I'm a meat eater, you know, and just like classify ourselves, you know, like put ourselves in a box, you know. It's like everything's like a fucking box in, you know, these days, right? You know, like we drive a car, it's a box, you know, we live in a house, it's a box, we're talking from a phone, it's like in a box, you know. So like we need to get back to nature, you know. And I really I'm honored to share the platform with you today in the space, because we have a lot of similar views that are very much in alignment, and there's so much manipulation on the truth and on our health. So it's imperative that we use discernment and we use awareness to, you know, find what has fact, but also what has resonance within ourselves, you know, within our body, within our genetic makeup, you know, within what dates back to our ancestors, you know. It's so imperative that we get back to our symbiosis, our relationship with nature, ultimately. So
and to be in our optimal place on an energetic level, because going through ascension like that, it requires a lot of energy, a lot. So if you don't have the optimal diet, or you go into a specific diet that is being pushed, let's say veganism is a big push for that, and there's a reason for it. I mean, so many people, like, they are into it thinking that it is the best place to be, when in fact for some it might be, I mean, it's not like to say that veganism is bad for everyone, but for many, it's pretty much ruining them, and they don't even realize. And then, so the goal here, the intention behind this live is just to bring more light about that topic, because there is a lot to it. There is a lot to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I love what you said about just, you know, to bring more light, you know, to shed more of our light, you know, our truth, you know, our experiences, you know, that's what it's about. It's just sharing more of that. And I think it's so important that we have discussions like this, because, you know, from majority of the collective, you know, times are changing obviously now with, you know, the past couple of years, but we need to be questioning everything, and ultimately we need to be questioning what we put into our body the most. I think, above all, because that is what's going to give us, you know, the good energy, the good vitality, you know, what is going to help us in our own ascension process, right?
Exactly. Yes, and to have a good gut, to have a high energy level, it's key. So you cannot leave anything behind because it is being like vilified and trying to shame you because there is a lot, let's say, behind veganism. There is a lot behind it, and there are like strong forces behind it. So who is pushing veganism? Like, who is behind Beyond Meat?
Exactly. You just got to follow the money, like everything.
Yeah,
in this,
it's the same people that are behind Planned Parenthood. The same people.
Exactly. and the same ones who have their hands in with the V, you know. I want to, you know, covert operations, right?
The Kool-Aid. So yeah, it's the same people. So there's a big reason for that. So yeah, so let's dive deeper into it and what is our view? Because me personally, I never been into diet, or I had no interest whatsoever into food until 2013, when I realized what was going on with my son that was not healthy with autism. So this is where I went like deep into that topic, because autistic kids, there's a big link with their gut, like the gut-brain connection. It's huge. So I went deep into it. It was not for myself, it was for my son. Wow. So yeah, so it was like, you know, for your offspring. So it was from a place of love to try to help him just to get better. And he did get better with all the research, and I tested so much. So before, like a long story short, up to 2013, and after you can share your experience about food.
Sure.
For me, in a nutshell, I was eating like whatever, you know, the cheapest, go to the grocery, like the cheapest can and whatever, like McDonald's, pizza, whatever it is. But my main food, it was grain and dairy. I was eating very little meat, because to me it was like cruel to eat animals, because I have a good heart and I don't want to, you know, make animals suffer. So I was eating very little meat. So it was like grain and dairy was my big thing, you know, like toast with peanut butter and jelly and milk, all that. And in my early 30s, I was like overweight. Like I was very jacked in my early 20s. I was training a lot. But after that, like all that, right now I'm around 200 pounds, but back then I was like 225, very like, it was impressive. But I was not like very lean, you know, I was like super bulk.
You didn't feel healthy, right? You probably didn't feel very healthy.
No, and I had like heartburns. Then in my early 30s, the heartburns were crazy. So I was thinking to go see a doctor to get some anti-acid or something, which that is a total hoax. Because when you lower your stomach acid, you just open the gate for all the crap to go to your gut.
And you're just suppressing it, right? You're just suppressing it until it boils over.
Yeah, anti-acid, everything about Western medicine, anti-this, anti-that. So anti-acid, I mean, we need acidity in our gut to kill all the what is harmful, and just to let what's good for us. So it's like the Trojan horse, you know, like you open the gate for all the bad stuff to go through your gut, and you don't want that. So anti-acid are horrible. Yeah, mess up people big time. So yeah, so first step I took when I realized that, like I started doing some research about autistic kids. So there was a big link with gluten,
Yeah.
yeah, and casein. So I won't go into all the details because would go forever
Be
into
here all
that.
day.
But gluten and casein, I removed that like the same night. All my pantries, all the kitchen, everything was out.
Wow.
Just put everything in the box in the basement and just gave that away to friends. And I started to replace that, like to remove gluten and casein from our home. So that has been the first step. So for a couple of months, it helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my son was helping him as well. So I will just go very fast. After I went into like paleo diet.
Right.
You heard about paleo?
Yes.
So paleo, it was good. So I started to lose some weight. My heartburn went away. I had like breath issue because there was like putrefaction in the gut. Because that's if you have breath issues, it's not because you don't brush your teeth. It's because there is some crap going on into your gut and then it smells. So that went away. So paleo has been a big thing. And after, fast forward, I heard about the GAPS diet, the Gut and Psychology Syndrome. That book here by Natasha Campbell McBride, amazing book, amazing book. So I didn't apply that diet to my son because it's quite something to do. Like the first week, it's pretty much just bone broth. So to implement that with a kid, it's not optimal. So I adopted another diet that was body ecology, which helped him a lot with fermented veggies and all that to bring good bacteria and everything. So that helped him a lot, and all the family went onto it. Everybody started to lose weight and get better and everything. And then it brought me, and after that, like I was implementing because I got divorced and all that. So I stopped doing stuff for my kid, but I still continue to apply stuff on myself. So this is when I discovered the carnivore diet that I tried. And this is where I was when I met Niyama. I was full-blown carnivore. I was just eating meat, nothing else, but grass-fed. The quality of meat, I mean, you cannot fool around with meat. You cannot go to the grocery store to buy meat. You know, means from the farm to my house. There is no middleman at all. So it's just grass-fed. And yeah, so this is when we met, and she was full-blown vegan at the time.
Oh,
so we
wow.
were.
Wow,
So,
like
yeah.
That's wild, man. Wow, what a
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing though. Like,
yeah.
That's amazing in itself because basically you have two opposite ends of the spectrum, but then you have two individuals who are both open-minded, are aware of everything around them, but also within them. And are able to kind of put differences aside, so to speak, and to find that middle ground together.
Yeah, because we will name it how it is. There is a big cult with veganism. It's a big, massive cult right there. Not for everyone, but Niyama, she managed to get out of a cult when she was younger from Jehovah's Witness. So she knows what cults are. So she knows cults inside out. So she didn't fall into the vegan cult. So, me, when I met her, I was like after my divorce, and I reintroduced the dating market. So I was like dating a lot. So, you begin to learn more about like feminine psychology and all that. And the vegan girl, I mean, wow, they are something. So, as soon as I realized that she was vegan, I say, I don't think that, that prospect will last, because most of people that are vegan, like if you eat meat, they will basically like hate you.
Oh, for sure, man. Like it's interesting because you look at any sort of group, right? And we've gotten into this day and age where as human beings, it's very easy for us to put each other into a box. If we belong to this group A, and this person we can classify as in group B, it can be easier to say cast hate onto them or judgment because they are not in alignment with, say, your mindset. But the biggest thing that I learned, even in my own experience, is just to like, you know, correlate that back to what you were talking about in your experiences. You know, I actually went vegan for 6 months, and it completely destroyed my body. But more than it destroying my physical body, it destroyed my mental. So like my emotional, you know, a lot of people, and that's the whole cult mentality, right? I'll call it what it is. It's a mentality that, you know, you can get into where you're thinking that because you're not eating meat, because you're not eating, say, flesh, that your mental stability is going to be that much better. But that is the greatest illusion, and that is an absolute just dangerous statement to make, especially when you say, oh, you know, like, you can't be high vibration if you eat meat. You know, it's like, like meat's like a lower vibration. Again, like, where did that come from? Like, we have to like seriously think about what we're taking in with our awareness and our beliefs. And like, there's lie right in the middle of the word belief. So it's like, are our beliefs come from lies, or our beliefs come from like an inner knowing, like that knowledge and knowing, like that knowing, right? So you know, it is a really dangerous sort of mindset to take on, because you can think internally that you're doing it for the best of humanity. Of course, we want to, you know, think in the greatest of humanity, but ultimately, if it's affecting your own self and like your own health, is that really the best? You know, is that to sacrifice your own self for humanity, whereas we can all thrive through eating the least processed and the best processed? That's what I always say. Least processed, best processed. If it's in a box, you should probably fucking avoid it. If it's coming straight from the land, you know, you should definitely probably involve yourself with it. And we just, it's all choices, you know, but it's also all habit, you know, because I think back to, you know, my childhood growing up, you know, I ate everything under the sun. You know, I you know, everything, you know, like I was addicted to, I would still say I am to a degree, but, you know, I was very heavily addicted to sugar, to processed foods, to junk food, you know, Skittles, Starburst, all that crap that you want to, you know, just, it becomes an addiction, you know, and it's the sugar, it's the chemicals, you know. We have to look at, you know, the makeup of the food that we eat, you know, we just have to look at the back of the ingredients label, you know. Are there things, if there's more than like, say, 3 to, you know, like, even if there's more than like 2 to 3 ingredients, you know, if there's more than 2 to 3 ingredients in something, you know, is it really like, what are those things doing to our body? You know, how is that interacting with our own genetic makeup, right?
Yeah, and you just mentioned, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so because you just mentioned, let's say that meat is low vibrational. Okay, I just want to address that. Yeah. Meat vibrational. Okay, have you ever heard about the term biosludge?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I will just explain.
What that is again.
Yeah, so it's basically like the sewage, the waste product of the sewage. That is being like they collect the solid, let's say from New York City sewage.
Right.
Then they just like make like compost out of that, and it's approved for organic farming. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So can you imagine like the vibrational level of that? Is biosludge high vibration? Not in my book, because you get all like the energy of all the people that just dump their crap, like, and all the pharmaceuticals and everything there. So and then they make that compost that they spread in the field, and then they grow that organic veggies there. So what is more high vibrational, like those veggies, or a happy animal that spent all his life in like eating grass? We are not talking about KFC here.
No.
Okay, we're not talking about like fake animals that are suffering since their birth. No, like happy meat, and that they had like one bad day when they just get like butchered. but they went under the sun. They were like all the elements and all that, and walking around with the, and then you eat that. That is lower vibration than the veggies that grew up into those fields that the soil are horrible. So the quality of the soil is important. So it's not just
soil's everything.
So that's something that I just wanted to clarify, because that's something.
That's a great point, man. Yeah, that's huge. And like, just to add to that, yeah, quality is everything. When I went vegan for 6 months back in, it was towards like the end of like 2020 into 20, I was vegan for 6 months, right? And when I made the switch to get back into eating like meat again, I made a pact to myself that it was going to be the best quality that I could find. And I would not sacrifice quality over quantity ever again. No. And as soon as I started introducing like good quality, like butcher, again, supporting local, knowing where your animal products are being sourced from, knowing the farmers, knowing how they, do things, in their own process, right? When I really thought more consciously about it and put more intention behind it, and again, everything is intention, but as soon as I did that, the first couple times I ate it, like I was like, whoa, like vibrationally it felt different.
Yeah, it is.
And that's when you can really notice it. And I even think back to say times when, and what's funny is I always look back at my experiences over the past couple of years, during these times. And before I went vegan, what actually made me go vegan for those 6 months was actually when I ordered Domino's pizza. And I remember I was eating like the 4th or 5th piece. And like, I just remember like when the food was going down my throat and I was like, it was in my body. I felt like the shift in vibration. Like I felt nauseous, like I almost felt like the fear of that animal or whatever it is, because it's not just animal products. They put all sorts of other processed crap and chemical ingredients, right? Who knows what the hell is in all this processed foods that we eat, right? So like my body, like I definitely found that I became way more in tune with my body and way more in touch with the foods that I ate. And then I went vegan, and then obviously I mentally, my health declined. Physically, my body completely transformed in the worst way possible. I lost a lot of the work, the hard work that I put into the gym, into fitness, into health, into, creating my temple, to making sure that it was all in the right alignment and balance. And I noticed as soon as I went back to eating, good quality meat, to eating fruit, the best quality fruit, local, organic, my body quickly transformed again. And
so what is your diet right now?
Right. So mainly, and I got a couple fruits here. So
fruits are amazing.
Some plums that are local from the local grocery store that I go to. They get it all from the local farms, both from on the island but also on the mainland in BC. I eat mainly and I like to say a nutrition, because there's the word die and diet. So I personally am trying to get away from diet, because again, like in our lives, we go through life and it's like, what's your diet? Or like, like in bodybuilding competitions, it's like I'm on a diet, or like, like it's a diet. It's like, no, we're not. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and there's life and lifestyle, right? So my lifestyle really is now it's eating the best quality fruits. I start my day with really good fruit, to wake up my digestive system, to give myself the good carbs, the energy source right away to wake my body up. So I'll usually start with
electric food. Fruits are electric.
Exactly.
So but here in Canada, it's difficult to get them fresh all year long. I mean, in winter, we don't have that, so.
For sure, yeah. And I try to go with the seasons. I try to go with what's in season around me. That's another thing that I'll just recommend to all the viewers. If you're trying to find, good local produce year round, or like fruits, sorry, year round. Try to find what's in season, right? So, you know, oranges, I eat a lot of oranges. I eat a lot of, you know, like nectarines. I eat a lot of grapes, a lot of things with also like high water content in them, because we want things that have high water content. Say like watermelon. Watermelon is a really good source of H3O. It's different than H2O. So H3O is basically the process that, say, the fruit undergoes, and basically it's able to it's like a, forget the exact word that it's called, but basically it's a process that it goes through and extracting the water through its basically growing process. And when you consume the H3O that's heavily abundant in certain fruits, it's actually a lot better quality in terms of water and hydration than, say, drinking just H2O is. So your body's going to be, it's way easier to absorb the contents.
And I'm pretty sure it's structured already. Pretty sure it's structured water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I never studied that, but it will just make sense that creation is already perfectly structured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like I start my day with that, and then I also incorporate, you know, a lot of grass-fed beef. Like ground beef is my main probably source of meat right now, of protein. But also because of the good fats that come with ground beef too. Yeah. And we need fats in our lifestyle and nutrition.
Your brain is
exactly.
Fat.
Our brain's been, yeah, exactly.
Do you want to fuel your brain with kale?
Yeah.
Not me.
Man, I could get into a whole thing about kale, man, you know. Yeah. And you know what's interesting too? Over the past couple, and I've been on this train for about 4 or 5 months now, and I would say that I've hardly eaten like a single veggie.
No, I don't eat veggies either.
Like maybe if I'm like eating out, you know, and there's some veggies on, you know, like a little salad on the side, you know, I might eat a little arugula salad, but I won't go out of my way to buy vegetables anymore, especially with all the spraying and everything.
Yeah, are loaded with chemicals, and even if they're perfectly grown, like organic and all that, they are loaded with defendant chemicals because they cannot run away.
Exactly. You know,
they just want to thrive. They don't want to be eaten. Yeah. They want to thrive.
Like plants are survival food, you know, like that's how I
look at it. They produce chemicals to protect them.
Exactly, because like look at to our ancestors too, you know, if our ancestors were out in the forest right now, like say they were, you know, hunting, would they be hunting for a bouquet of kale, or would they be hunting for, say, a bison or something that's in the wild, right? Something
organs.
Where we can use everything head to tail, you know, we can.
The organs were the prize, and they will bring that back to their pregnant woman to have strong babies.
Exactly.
So and history.
Exactly, and that's another thing I was going to say is liver is something that I've definitely gone on the train of. Definitely eating liver every day, raw liver specifically. I try not to cook it. Usually, what I do is, well, it's I got some frozen right now, but I'll usually leave it to unthaw a bit, and then no one want to be eating that, but we got to eat.
Yeah, as soon as you're born, you're a killer.
Yeah.
Either you kill plants or animals, or this is the name of the game in this realm. We come from higher realm.
Exactly. And that's one thing we got to remember too, is we're on this physical plane, you know, like, and I think the thing with a lot of like vegans, and I'm never one to judge, you know, I hold compassion for a lot of these individuals because I was there myself, and I know a lot of people are suffering, especially when it comes to nutrition. But I know for myself, you know, when I was, you know, going vegan, say in my experience, you know, I would be so much in the etherical and the ethereal plane that I would completely just like get out of the physical. Like I didn't feel like I was as much in the physical, you know, but like we're here right now, you know.
We have to stay grounded. We have a mission to achieve here.
Exactly. Like we have to have the balance of one, you know. It's okay to be in the ethereal, but if you're just there all the time, you lose connection and grounding with nature. And that's ultimately where we're coming back to with all of this, is we're getting back to nature. We're doing things with the least process, you know, the best process behind it, you know, being very intentional behind everything that we do and everything that we consume. And yeah, it's such an interesting time that we live in, because more and more people I find in the spiritual, you know, like the conscious communities are awakening to this reality and awakening to this truth, both within themselves, but also in the collective, you know, and understanding, you know, there's so much division and so much manipulation of our health and our truth that ultimately it's led us to this point where we're in a mass discernment period. I feel like, you know, not just a mass awakening or the great remembering. We're using our discernment. We're questioning more. We're having conversations more like these, like this beautiful conversation that we're sharing right now, you know, which needs to happen. You know, we need to have these conversations and to hold compassion for our brothers and sisters, because there are many out there that are suffering right now. And
and what Niyama just said here, pray for the meat and thank it for its sacrifice. It's true. Me, I'm always like thankful. Like this is what the like not the native here in America, like it was their lifestyle. You know, they were like hunting let's say whatever animal. They were just doing that prayer and thanking the animal for its gift.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
It's an exchange. Exactly. And animals eat themselves in the wild. That's the name of the game in this realm.
Yeah, you know, it's intention is everything. That's what I always say, you know, and like every time I do consume something that does have a meat product or something that, you know, was alive in it, I always say my intention. I always say thank God. I always thank spirit. I thank the spirit of the beautiful animal that was within it, and I thank you for, you know, the flesh that is going to nourish my body. And that is going to give me the strength and the vitality and the wonderful energy
to achieve our mission.
To achieve whatever is in the day that I want to achieve. Or, you know, it's something we have to do to build consistency. That's the thing. And when we can shift our focus and to place that intention, then we can shift out of a negative vibration into a higher one every time. And I think that's the thing is we're magicians, you know, we're magicians on this plane, you know, we have that ability to change and to influence our surroundings always. So
and something I want to say is that I know vegans that are thriving. So some people they can be 10 years on a vegan diet and thrive.
For sure.
You know, I don't think it's optimal personally. I really don't think so for the human avatar. Maybe people are living in other timelines than I do, and for them it's the way to go. But let's say in my reality, in my timeline, I mean, it's not optimal. I mean, and I can say the same for my grandmother that was eating crap and white sugar all the time and ginger ale, and she lived until her 90s. So you can eat crap and still have a good life. So, you know, the body adapts a lot. But if you want to be in your optimal place and you don't try all those diets, so me, it's like try different things and see what fits for you. You will know how you feel. But many will just stay away from animals because it is being vilified to eat them. Okay? Because just to going back when I met Niyama, I was a full carnivore. I was not even eating fruit. I just wanted to test it out. And I was a big fan of ketosis, and to be in ketosis, no sugar. So I was always in ketosis, only eating meat just to test, because I love testing things. I'm like that. I love testing things and try to always improve and find the next breakthrough. I'm a biohacker. So basically, like me, it was amazing. I really loved it. And Niyama, we were like starting to date, and she was coming over with her sauté de légumes, like veggies, stuff and all that. But at the time, she was really like bloated and her gut was hurting. She was not in a good place. So I just started like to talk to her about like that book and all my knowledge and all my story and everything. And she said, okay, makes sense. And then she realized that she had to at least try to eat meat and bone broth to see how it will help her. The first time she did it, she was crying. So yes, Yeah, she just said, yeah, my gut was fucked while being vegan. Yes, big time.
That's
Happened to a
exactly how
lot
I
of people,
felt.
and to someone that I can name because she's public about it, Linda,
Right.
here in our tribe. Same thing, vegan, fuck her hormones.
See,
Uh,
my thing with it is it's like it's a matter of when. You know, when is the big question when I think about veganism is when am I going to start running into problems? And
mhm.
usually, most of the time, the problems result in the gut from
Yeah,
bloating, from
yeah.
not being able to digest the
Hmm.
amount of food that you have to eat as well in order to feel nourished, in order to feel good in your body. Like when I was still bodybuilding, I was trying to bodybuild and be on a vegan diet. You know, I had to eat so much food. It was ridiculous. Like, I can't tell you how many times I had to eat like a bowl of chickpeas, like just like chickpeas. And
Yeah,
that was the worst because
they're rough.
I got the worst bloatedness from that. I had the
They're
worst bowel movements. Like it was just absolute hell. Like I thought I was living hell because I never felt good. Like I always felt lousy. Like, and even my energy levels, you know, initially, sure, I felt my energy change. But you know why that was? Because I cut out a lot of the processed crap. And that's the
hmm.
thing. A lot of times when vegans make that change and they say they feel better initially, it's because they cut out a lot of the processed crap to begin with. But again, the whole thing with the whole vegan movement is unfortunately a lot of it is um, a lot of it is centers around processed crap.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of it isn't natural. A lot of it is like Beyond Meat, or you know, like they have this
Yeah.
stuff that says, oh, what is it, like it's like just egg, or like it's no egg or something. It's like a product that you can, have you seen that product where it's like,
That's Frankenstein stuff. I
yeah, it
mean,
looks like it looks like egg, but it's not egg. It's like
yeah, it's
completely
horrible.
not egg. And then you look at the ingredients
Yeah,
list and it's like freaking like 30 different ingredients or whatever, and it's like half the crap I can't even pronounce or understand. And it's
yeah,
like that's gonna be labeled as healthy? Like,
yeah.
and then you have,
Wow.
it's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
man.
And me, like, if you want to lose fat, eat fat. So good fat animals, you will lose fat.
Hmm.
Like right now, I am, like Carnivore MD, Paul
Yeah.
Saladino.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So basically, I follow that diet
Yeah.
because I came to that conclusion, and then I found the guy after that was confirming everything that I found through years of research, and I spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to find those information
Yeah.
on my autism recovery path. So I will just share something real quick. So
Sure.
there is a like big thing like food allergies and all that, which
Hmm.
is huge. So this is the labs that I went to California with my
Oh
son.
wow.
This is back in 2014. So this is all beans, blueberry, broccoli, cabbage, like all different kind of veggies and all that. So it's a lab that shows if you are intolerant to it or not. So today I know that lab, I mean, they're not reliable, first of all. I
Yeah.
mean, they come from the pharma world, and that's bullshit right from the start. But at the time, I was believing into that, so I spent a big deal of money just to fly to California to get that lab done. Because here in Canada, we live in a socialist healthcare system, so I had to wait a year to get a lab like that for free. Yeah, but my son was hurt.
Yeah, you
So
had to act quick.
yeah, exactly. And at the time, I mean, money was not an issue. So I'm always been into an entrepreneur, and we had a business at the time with my dad in telecommunication with the biggest. Anyways, we were doing like in the 7 figures at the time. So money was not an issue at all. So I just took the plane, get the lab. So long story short, okay, then okay, so now we cannot eat avocado. Now you need to remove coconut. Now we need to remove gluten. So I will just talk about Jordan Peterson, his experience. So you know Jordan Peterson and his daughter, yeah. So basically, Michaela went through hell. She was about to die. Like doctors didn't know what to do about her. You can find her online, YouTube. She talks about that. She calls it the lion diet. So she came down to the conclusion that, okay, I'm dying and I'm allergic to everything.
Wow.
Except meat. So she removed everything from her diet except meat, salt, and water. And then she started to recover fast. So it was the same thing with Jordan Peterson. So we call that like elimination diet. So me, I was into that elimination diet. Let's eliminate that. Let's eliminate this. Let's eliminate bullshit. Remove everything.
Yeah.
And then add something slowly to see how it affects you. Go the other way around, like a reverse logic completely.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So just do it the smart way. Remove everything. You can survive 1 month on meat. I mean, big time, because it's the most potent food.
Yeah, so, it's so nutrient dense too.
Yeah, so you could fast for a month, so you can survive on eating meat for a month. So if you're dying, so this discussion here might save some lives, you know?
For sure. You know,
because if
yeah, and like another thing you can do too, and again, like we want to emphasize that it's all about the quality. You know, like ultimately it's all about the quality. The meat that you say if you buy at a local butcher or someone that, you know, has a farm locally in your area is going to be completely different than, say, the meat that you buy at Walmart. Completely different. And I'm going to use Walmart because I want to slam them. But I try not to support the big box stores, you know, of course. You know, I try not to as much as I can, right? But again, you know, here's the thing. I always ask people this. What is the cost of your health? What does your health mean?
It's priceless.
You know, it's
everything.
Priceless. It's absolutely
when you lose your health, you lose everything. You cannot function properly in this realm. You cannot go around and do what you have to do. It's crazy.
Exactly. And you know, when our hormones are all out of whack, and I know just from my experience in talking to, like, you know, other individuals and women specifically too, you know, I always, like, even in you know, people that I try to, you know, not have too close a relationship with, but I still have, you know, connection to, you know, share them information, right? I always stress to them I emphasize the importance of, you know, the quality of the food that they're consuming, you know, and how that has a direct impact on their hormonal levels, but also the types of foods ultimately. And it's amazing what you bringing up Michaela and just her story, because it's so powerful, the process of elimination, when we can, you know, listen to ourselves and not listen to the external around us, and to really just find what is our body telling us, you know, connecting to, like, because our body speaks to us in a variety of ways. And, you know, Dolores Cannon, she says that we should never be sick. The human body should never be sick. And if your body is sick, then it is a way of your body communicating to you what you need to change within. And it all starts within. Obviously, it starts with the mind. It starts with your mindset. But ultimately, too, it starts with the actual choices that you make. And there's another quote where I remember seeing, like, when you can control what you put into your mouth, like, you can control everything else.
Yeah.
You know, like exactly, yeah. We aren't taught to listen to ourselves, 100%, you know, like we're taught to, you know, and that also comes back to the whole sovereignty aspect too, right? Like, we're taught that, you know, our health comes from the government, from getting advice from the government. And again, it's in the word magic. Government stands for mind control. Govern stands for control. And ment is short for mental, which is the mind. So it's mind control. Do we really want to let the government or let an entity or system control our own mind, or do we want to put our own power back into our own hands, which is already within us, and really take that charge and govern ourselves? True sovereignty comes from our own innate decisions, but ultimately also discerning what is right and what is wrong. Sovereignty,
which is level 3 of ascension.
Exactly.
So you want to ascend, be sovereign.
Exactly.
It's part of it's the name of the game. If you're not sovereign, good luck on your ascension path. If you're still following people like sheep, you know?
Yeah.
So, and something that came back to my mind that I want to share, you know? So back when I met Niyama, so she was vegan, I was carnivore. And, you know, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time 100%. With. So it's key to who you surround yourself with. So so the like 6 months later, long story short, again, we met like people of our tribe here in Montreal, pretty much all vegan. So we started to do like healing ceremonies with them and all that, and me like so I started to go away from my carnivore and like all my biohacks that I was doing, and started to eat like more veggies again and all that. And beginning of this summer, I crashed big time with Myanmar because we were giving our prana freely all the time for free, trying to help every starseeds around, which is a big mistake.
For sure.
Yeah. So I crashed big time. So at the beginning of the summer, I was not on my optimal diet at all. I was eating a lot of oatmeal because it's cheap. You can eat a big bowl of oatmeal and it fills you. And for like the whole bag, like $3, we're getting
too many times.
It's rough. So when I crashed, I mean, I had those a big issue with my feet. Anyway, I didn't. I long story short. So I just recovered from that with energy works, like the love beings and the health doctors and all that. Long beautiful story. And all the when you bounce back from when you're down, and I knew exactly what to do just to rise again. So this is when I say, okay, no bullshit. Okay, I just ordered that because I ordered like a quarter of a beef at the time directly from the farm to my freezer. No middleman. So I just loaded my freezer with prime grass-fed meat, liver, and all that, and I started that back in the beginning of the summer.
Good for you, man. Yeah.
Now in September, and now I'm a beast.
Yeah, man, I can tell, man. I can see it in the workouts too, like in your training as well. Like, and that's
I'm much stronger.
Your strength goes way up.
Yeah, and also when I was training, like I had that elbow injury that since a year ago, but thanks to Niyama. Yeah, but not because of the food. It was with energy work with Niyama. Okay. Like during a tantra session, she just tapped into it. And we just like, and me, I tapped into it as well, and we just like took it out, and now it's like 90% better. So now I'm back. Now I can lift, and I'm thriving now. I'm so happy with this diet, with everything, no injury, and I'm strong.
That's awesome.
I'm just strong, and this is why I put that piece behind. This is the first
I was
piece
gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. The first piece that Niyama did after we met. It's her first piece.
Really?
Yeah. That's so basically,
beautiful.
Yeah. So the bull represent like myself, like the masculine, like, the male energy, and this is like it represent Niyama in her femininity.
Beautiful.
So that's an amazing piece, and and there is like a magic into it, like subliminal message here. And there is that quote, that real quote from Napoleon Hill is, "Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve." So it's there. So. Yeah, so I just want to start to put more because Niyama has so many amazing art pieces that let's do a live. Let's put a nice background and this is like, and also you are what you eat.
100%.
So this is a good representation of me right now. So much energy, so much strength. So my goal is, and I tried to become like breatharian before without any success. I did crazy fasting. Dry fast for 5 days, like supposed to be dead according to science, but that's bullshit. So like 2 weeks without eating and stuff like that. So if you want to heal your gut, the best diet is fasting. Yeah. So your gut can reboot and rebuild itself and regenerate and all those stem cells and just reboot your whole body and so if you want to heal from like gut problem, fasting is the best diet. And then you reintroduce bone broth. It's liquid gold, bone broth. So it's like just soothing the gut. So it allowed the microvilli to just heal.
To repair,
the microvilli. I have some images in that book here that I can show like quickly. So this is basically like a villi here. I don't know if people will see.
Oh,
so
I can see that,
Those are the villi in the gut. It's all like in the gut everywhere. And then there is what is called here the enterocyte. Like this is like an enterocyte.
No.
Like so that's a sick enterocyte. That's a healthy enterocyte. So this is the villi. The enterocyte are on top of it, and on top of the enterocyte are the microvilli, which are like the little like things that grab the nutrient from the food. When it's properly digested, go there, it grabs it, brings it into your gut, and then that feeds your blood. So bone broth is perfect to allow that to heal while you are still eating. But if you are eating solid food, that will stay damaged. It will not heal. So yeah, that's powerful knowledge right there. It's powerful knowledge. And me, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to gather that.
That's priceless, man. That and yeah, that's incredible, Vince. And you know, one thing there's a point I wanted to add to what you were talking about, just in terms of like, you know, with your strength and everything, and just, you know, with your feeling and your vitality. It's like they want, and I say they, you know, you can everyone can interpret what I mean by they, but you know what, they want men emasculated. It's an emasculation of men. They want weak men, not just in the physical, but also in the mental. They want men weak across the board, because they know a group of strong-willed, united men are the most dangerous to a society. To a society, because when there's unification and collaboration and just that combined strength, it's unwavering.
It's exponential.
Yeah. The energy and the output that is produced from that. So do you think that, say, a tribe of men who are, say, on eating a you know, nutrition that we're talking about, is going to protect their women, as opposed to, say, those that are eating kale and aren't lifting or aren't working out? Are they going to be able to protect their women?
It's two different outcomes.
That's the thing, you know, and that's what it comes back to too, is men are the protectors and the defenders. You know, like my name, Alexander, it means defender of man, but I also add protector of woman, you know, of the woman, because ultimately a man should be able to protect his woman in every and any way, not just from, you know, the spiritual and the mental attacks, but also from the physical, you know, God forbid, but we need to have levels of preparedness. Ultimately, we need to be prepared.
You are ready all the time.
Exactly.
I have everything at home, whatever, I'm ready. I mean, to defend myself the best that I can. I mean, I'm more ready than 99% of the people out there, but it's my job to think about that and to plan for it. And to be fit. So if there's something happening, I need to be in my optimal physical fitness, you know?
You can take action, you know, right away. And like the masculine, the true divine masculine is tapped in both into his feminine, but also his masculine. But ultimately the masculine role is to take action, to, you know, I act on, you know, it's like I will lead, you know, I will take charge, I will defend, I will protect, I will nurture, you know. It's there's so much.
My next evolution diet wise will be to become vegetarian. That's coming because as our vibration increase, we will be able to feed off the energy around us. So vegetarian, call it whatever you want, that's the next step. And me, I'm aiming to be amongst the first to really achieve it, you know.
That's incredible.
We won't have to eat animals or even plants or whatever, just to live and be healthy and strong, just from the prana of whatever is around us. So
from the sun.
The sun, Solarian,
The sun's been wild over the past couple of days too. But how about that moon? You know, that moon last night was powerful.
Okay, maybe that's why the energy were crazy. Like Yama and I were in bed and we were just like, wow, just agitated. Yeah.
Everyone felt it. You know, like there's just, even when I was looking at it, I felt this different energy coming off of it. Like, but at the same time, it was a very like powerful energy, but it was also a very like calming, like I got you kind of thing. Like it was like a nurturing, you know, and eat sun, exactly. Eat sun. Eat sun. You know, our skin's our largest organ, you know, that's another thing too, right? So it's so important that we connect with the elements, and you know, the earth, wind, fire, you know, water, the ether as well. You know, it's so important that we connect to all elements. And you know, that's the most beautiful thing about the foods that we eat, is that they have also been in those elements. They have those elements within them, within the flesh, within, you know, all of that. So there's all a correlation, you know. There's a correlation and causation as well, you know. It's there's so much that can be said about that. And I think when we can connect more to nature, when the collective can connect more to nature, there's going to be that even greater shift. And we're going to get to a point where, yeah, we won't need to, you know, consume certain foods anymore, you know, where we can just, you know, say, live off the water, you know, live off the sunlight, live off the breath. You know, breath is life ultimately. You know, can't live without oxygen, without our breath. So
yeah. So, and we are close to an hour, so I try to keep those videos like an hour.
For sure.
Otherwise, we can go forever, and on YouTube, people won't watch if it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we will touch that topic again. But I asked you if you were down to present your top 3 foods, so maybe we can end up with that. So yeah, so that's like the most potent food for you. Me, I have my top 3 here. So maybe if you want to start your number 3, and I will present you my number 3 as well.
You read my mind, brother, because I was literally just gonna ask that. I was like, yeah, wait, we gotta do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So number 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, number 3 top food. So, you know, one of them isn't a food, but I would definitely say just water. You know, the quality of water ultimately. You know, like that's going to be my top 3. Even with the top 3 foods, you know, it's always going to be thrown in there because, you know, we're 80%,
for sure
water. You know, so
that's spring water, and I put all my magic in it every morning, and intention. Water is magic, so you put all your energy. So this bottle is sacred to me. It's my bottle of water. It's for me, you know. It's my energy that is into it. So
that's awesome, brother.
Water, of course, but let's say apart from water, because water has to be there for sure. So let's say the top.
So
the top 3 food.
Definitely, I would say it's gonna be ground beef, 100%.
So that's your number 3.
That's I would say that's my. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to rank them all. If I had to rank them, you know, because I was even just thinking on it, like, I'm like, okay, well, like if I was on a deserted island and I had say all the tropical fruits, like all the meat, you know, what would I choose first, right? And I would put probably ground beef at number 3, and the reason being is because I would put number 2 and 1. Most likely 2 is probably going to be liver because of the organs and just because of the nutrients that you can get from organ meats. I say it's far more vast than, say, something like ground beef. Both have huge roles to play in you know, protein synthesis, you know, muscle development, you know, cognitive, you know, just cognitive development. Number 1, I would say mangoes for me. I would choose fruit. I love my tropical fruits, brother. You know, it's either between mango and, honestly, coconut water.
Okay.
Like, if I could just be on there, because I know, like, I've gone days where, say, my body hasn't felt as good to eat, but I've craved a delicious fruit. I've craved coconut water, but my body, just for whatever reason, doesn't want to consume meat in some moments, you know. But I can always say, oh, it's going to be a juicy, a delicious fruit that I can bite right into, and I can get all those, you know, delicious nutrients right away. So I'd probably say, my top 3 would be, ground beef, then liver, and then either mangoes or coconuts.
So me, my number 3 is raw liver. I have some here.
Oh yeah.
So So me, just to retrain my brain to eat that, because at the beginning was like a wall of fire, just to eat raw like that's like, wow, that's something. But we are in a program right now, so you can just reprogram your brain and then you reteach everything, and then it becomes like easy. So for the first month, I was just eating it raw like that, but now that I'm used to it, I just put a bit of maple syrup.
Yeah,
it's delicious now. I eat that in the morning with my eggs and everything, and it's just like a side. You don't need to eat a lot, like that guy. What's it? Liver King.
Liver King. Liver is king.
So yeah, so that would be my number 3. My number 2 is this will surprise people and it will look gross, but this is fermented liver. So I just have. So I have a last piece here because I have my next batch.
Interesting.
That is not ready.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah, so that one is about 4 months old. We've been trained to think that, rotten meat will kill you. But, bro, that's so potent. I use that as a pre-workout.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow, I've never actually seen fermented liver before. That's actually the first time I've actually, that's wow.
Look it up on YouTube. There is many videos about that. High meat is the Eskimos that found that. Okay, so when their dog were eating that, their performance was through the roof, like much faster, much more endurance. So if they were feeding their dog with high meat, and that's amazing to fight depression as well, because when you eat that, you get a lot from it. There's so many bacteria, so it goes straight to your gut and repopulate your gut with that. That's great. That I spent thousands of dollars on probiotic.
Yeah, no doubt. I bet.
And into that jar, I have for $10 of liver, and I have for months. So that will be ready in about 2 months because I just did it the other day. So you can start to I take a little bit piece every morning. So that's so powerful. So if you can reprogram your brain and just, I will explain how to do it. You just put raw liver in a jar like that, and every 3 days, 2 to 3 days, you just open the lid to allow the oxygen for the bacteria, just to get air, for it to breathe and to thrive. So, and then you eat those bacteria. It's powerful, but the smell is quite something. So I do it like under the fan, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to open that in the room here.
Yeah.
Because of the smell. Yeah. And my number 1 here is Shivambu Kalpa, which is it's urine. It's my urine.
Oh, wow.
That is, you have to get into it because that is potent beyond words. So I've been a year on it already. And it's through the channeling. I ask all these questions. So I dived into it like very deep, let's say with the loving and all that. And they explained to me all what it is doing. And I got even more information about a year being on it. Because not only it cleans your vessel, and we have been programmed to say, it's gross, like to put it in the same category as your crap.
For sure.
Which is not.
But it doesn't come out the same place.
No, not at all. No. It's so potent. You have your own pharmacy within you. So no, I've been a year on it, and not only it cleans your vessel to such a deep level, it also has a huge impact on your soul to clean the soul. So it's beyond the physical.
That's interesting, bro, because I have actually I've never tried that myself, but I have I've researched into urine therapy too. It's called, another name is Orin, your Orin, right? It's Orin therapy, right? And it's so wild because I just got a intense ring, almost like a download on my left ear, when I was saying that. So I'm like, maybe that's something I need to look into more. But urine therapy is something that has it's interested me, and I have never tried it. Because one question I'd ask then is, for those that want to try it, what would be the best place to start? And say, would it be first thing when you get up? That would be
exactly. Yeah. So you just leak a bit, and then you take the middle of your morning pee, you put it in a glass, and then you drink it. So that's what I do every morning. First thing I get up off the bed, I go drink my pee. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to try that. I'm gonna try that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing that is more powerful, but I'm not saying that I will do it, because if I say that I will try it, I have to do it. So I will not say it. I say I can consider it maybe someday, is fermented urine, but I'm not there
I've
yet,
seen people do that too. Yeah, where they have it like in a jar and it like sits for like
Yeah.
6 months.
I have a friend that just opened the jar in his bathroom and he closed it and it smelled forever. So I mean, you need to have a good ventilation system to to have that in your home, you know.
Can't be living with anyone that isn't on the same wavelength, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And are you familiar with psychedelics like mushrooms?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely used like mushrooms quite a bit. Like
okay. So with the
myself, the last trip that I had.
Okay, so on mushrooms, you know, you experience, like, you go beyond the matrix and you tap into like the things for what they are. So when I'm doing ceremonies and I just have like my urine in a glass, you tap into the energy of it. It's so like mind blowing when you drink it while you're on mushroom. It's called it's Shivambu Kalpa, Shiva, the god Shiva. So it's the elixir of the gods. So when you are on mushroom, I mean, you tap into like the energy of it, and there's no bullshit there. You know, when you're here in this matrix, you drink it, it's like, okay, whatever. But when you're on mushroom and you tap into it and you just feel that energy, like, whoa, because you feel everything more, and you're like, okay, that is no bullshit. So yeah, that's my number one for sure. Yeah, by far. And it's free, you know?
It's free, exactly.
It's free. And wherever you are, I mean, and what the good thing about it is you will drink your gallon of water every day, because the next morning, if you don't drink enough water, it will be so strong. And then you have to drink it because you're committed to it. So it will like force yourself to drink to stay hydrated. Otherwise, it will be so strong that the taste will be like not pleasant. And since I switched to spring water and went from distilled to spring water, and now the taste is much better.
So interesting. Okay. Yeah.
You feedback your diet because you can taste, you know. So when you eat more fruits, it gives you feedback. So it reprograms. The body is so intelligent.
Yeah.
So it's like the computer processing, you know. And the love beings would be better than me to explain that in detail, or maybe the health doctors down the road, or I don't know what. But that is no bullshit food. I mean, it's your pharmacy, your God-given pharmacy, the elixir of the gods. So yeah, that's my top 3.
That's beautiful, brother. Yeah, thank you for sharing. It's your pharmacy, not pharmacy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, that's you know, another thing I was gonna say is I saw with urine therapy just is you can also use it to like cleanse your body with, to like bathe with, you know, like I've heard some people like that, they shower with it too.
Yeah, I do that as well. Sometimes when I go in the shower, I just like put it over my face, my scalp, everything, just over my skin. And in the summer, it's good to go under the sun when you're soaked into it, just absorb the sun energy with it on you. That's another thing. But I don't have the good setup to do that here. Right. Down the road, like, you know, somewhere in my eco village, somewhere down south, I'll be set up for that, you know, just to shower myself with my urine and stay under the sun for a couple of hours, and then go in the river just to clean myself and go for dinner, you know.
Jump in a nice hot tropical ocean.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So yeah, awesome. So amazing life. Thank you for doing that, for sharing space with me, because I mean, it was not an easy topic to touch. Because many people, even within the Starseeds community, will be upset about this talk. So it's not so. Some people have to talk about it. So I mean, and I feel that you have the same vibe. You know, warrior mode. You know, my mindset is like Achilles. You know, and to be the first warrior to jump on the beach.
Jump in that cold ocean too.
Yeah. So if there is something that I feel that need to be addressed, I will just do it. So we are here to speak our truth, to shed some light on, because the dark forces are everywhere. They infiltrate everything, every movement, and they are professional, like to steer people away from their optimal path. So our job here as a Starseeds light bringer is just to shine our light in every topic and not to shy away from those topics. So that's important.
Exactly. And, that comes back to our authenticity too, right? And like that's the best gift that we have to offer is ourselves and our experiences, right? And it's I 100%, man, preach that. We all need to be sharing our truths, and we all need to be on here sharing our voices, because our voices are so powerful and they carry such a resonance, and we can truly heal the world when we can come together and share. So this is also going to open it up for other people, other individuals, in the community that also might have, they've been wanting to talk more, but just for whatever reason, there's that bit of fear or something that's holding it back, or that judgment, right?
Yes. At the beginning, I was not sharing on my stories that I was eating meat. I will lose some followers because we like to have a lot of likes and that. But whatever, man. I'm not here for the popularity contest. I'm just here to shine my light and to build some bridges. Vegan, carnivore. I mean, Niyama was vegan. I was carnivore. If we would have been part of that cult, we would not be experiencing that, and the love being, we would not have that to offer to people, So always to be in the place of love and build bridges. So you're a full-blown vegan, good for you. You thrive on veganism, fine. I'm not, fine. Can we build things together and rise together? Absolutely. Together we rise, synchronized, we thrive, despite of what we eat. So if we have to build hate out of our preferences, nobody is to judge preferences, either like sexual orientation or what you eat. Nobody is to judge.
Exactly,
so and like that's my message to the collective.
I love that, brother. And like, when we have judgment, that's really a projection. We're projecting our own insecurities without understanding, but also not, understanding within ourselves. And I think ultimately, just to add to that point, to add to your point, we're all trying to get to the same place. And that's what we need to remember, everyone, is, we might come from different backgrounds, different races, different religions. Bruce Lee said, under the sky, under the heavens, there is but one family. It just so happens people are different. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to the same place. And the greatest illusion is the illusion of separation. There is no separation. And on that note, it's 111, which is very divine.
So and a reminder, if you vibrate hate because you're triggered, the triggers are good, are important, like you need to address that. And if you vibrate hate, what the universe will reflect back to you. Your vibration will be reflected back to you. So be mindful. So if people are meeting meat around, it is what it is. I mean, you cannot hate anyone for that. So
exactly, brother. It's awesome.
Yes. Oh, amazing. Thank you very much, Alexander, for sharing that space with me today. So it was a very interesting discussion. So I hope that people will resonate, and maybe some will just give it a try, see how it feels for them. And maybe we will just change some life at a very, very deep level, because food, nutrition, it's key. Healthy, it's key. So we cannot stay silent about those topics because it's taboo or can look bad, So whatever it is.
Exactly. No fear, brother. No fear.
No fear, never. And if there is one, jump into it. So
exactly. Jump right at it.
Amazing, brother. So thank you for your presence, and we'll probably have more talks in the near future. So
definitely we'll talk after this. I definitely have some ideas, so I'll definitely DM you. We have many ideas, I think, for some more lives. So it's always an honor, and it's great connecting with you, Vincent. I appreciate it.
Likewise.
Thank you, brother.
Love and light.
Love and light.
Bye.